training camp right around the corner. You guys are going to be featured on Hard Knocks this summer. What was your reaction when you found out? And then B, any concerns or questions about, their access to just being on camera all the time?
Yeah, found out on my birthday, May 21st, and
Happy birthday.
yeah, it was quite a surprise. Typically teams that make the playoffs were never a part of that conversation, but they kind of lifted that rule a year or two ago. I probably initially didn't react too great to it, but I do think it's a cool opportunity for people to see some of the great, you know, men that we have in our team and some of the great women that we have in our staff as a whole. So I think it's a thing that we can't let distract us. Got to keep the main thing. But I also think it could be a fun opportunity for a lot of guys to show their personality and people get a better insight of really how the Buffalo Bills operate on a greater scale.
Say Peyton Manning in a year or two comes to you and is like, "Hey, Omaha's doing season 3 of quarterback. You interested? Would you say yes, or do you think that's a little too much?"
Um, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for sure.
Did he tell
Um,
you to ask me that question?
no, no, I wish Peyton was feeding me questions for this interview. That would be crazy. I would have some very high concept football things to ask you, and not really just like, why did you have less turnovers last year? No, I'm kidding. Uh, no, but I mean, yeah, let's go there for a second. Last year I felt like a dramatic decrease in the turnovers. When you're looking back at last season, is there anything that stands out to you different than when you were kind of in the moment of it, real, and you're like, wow, this is probably a reason why I cut down on turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of things. I think it's our offensive line playing at an extremely high level. I think it's our receivers and running backs doing a lot of the heavy lifting. I think it's a lot of Joe Brady calling right concepts and putting in good stuff that, has answers against anything and everything. And then myself just letting the game come to me and making better decisions with the football, not putting it in harm's way. And um again, I can't help when people drop interceptions. I probably threw a few dropped interceptions last year that will never be on the stat sheet. And typically that's how it goes. Sometimes you have a tipped pick that's an interception that may hit a receiver in the hands, and sometimes there's a bad throw where it may hit a DB right in the chest and they drop it. So they all kind of even themselves out, but making sure again that I'm just being smart with the football, understanding the concepts, seeing things, and just trusting my eyes, trusting my arm, and trusting my feet if it's not there. And I'm very, very excited to keep working on that in training camp and try to hit the ground running as we did last year.
For sure. Did you happen to see ESPN's quarterback rankings? I guess based off of interviews with the front office people and other people around the league recently, or no? Did you
I
just pick?
I haven't, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me about them.
No. Yeah. So they had Pat number one, and then yourself number two, Joe number three, and Lamar number four. The four of you have just been so closely linked, kind of in that top tier. All four of you in the AFC. What is it about being in that group, playing those guys that brings the competitive nature out of you, that brings the best out of you?
Well, I mean, anytime you play one of those three guys, you know you have to perform your best to keep up with them. Got a lot of talent at the quarterback position in the league, especially in the AFC right now. Just a lot of guys that, again, they show up each and every game, and in order to beat them, you gotta play better than them, which is very, very difficult to do. So yeah, it's a blessing to be named with those guys because those are, again, guys at the top of the game right now, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. And then when you sign a deal or the extension like you did during the off season, and it's reported that it's under market and things like that, and obviously there are reasons why you're doing this, and you talked about it. Do people in the building say anything to you about it? Do people around you say anything about it? And like, what was their reaction, I guess, to it all?
It's it's kind of hard to say, but I mean, it's still a big number, so
Right.
I don't think people are saying why are you taking less. I think I've got a very, very fortunate position of being with the Buffalo Bills organization. They took a chance on me going back to my draft year 8 years ago now. Um, and again, I'm just trying to play the best football that I can play, and I'm very, very fortunate that Beam came to us and wanted to get something done, and felt like um, he wanted to do right by me, and again, that just makes me want to do right by the Buffalo Bills that much more.
Does it feel like 8 years? When you say that out loud, does it feel like it?
It's crazy. It really is. I think it's happened in the blink of an eye. I feel like I'm going into year 3 or 4 right now. Like thinking back about all the games, all the teammates, all the relationships that I've made over the years, it all kind of jumbles together. And when people ask me about certain plays or certain games, like it's starting to become very jumbled now. And I'll have to go back and watch more film of that certain game to understand what they're talking about. So it's a blessing though. I get to do what I love to do, and um, it's the only thing that I've ever wanted to do since I was a little kid. And uh, I wake up every morning and thank God for it, and it's an absolute blessing.
Yeah, saw some new photos of, or yeah, fresh photos of the new stadium coming. Have you had a chance to check it out, or just see the photos? And like, what is the excitement level as you kind of close shop on the former stadium and move into the new one?
Yeah, I got to see it about a month ago. Got to go and tour it, and it's happening very quickly. It was so cool to really last year's when things started moving very, very rapidly, and to go out for practice and be like, holy cow, they already put this steel beam up, and the next day there was 3 or 4 more, and it's just they're moving so rapidly there. And I know all the crews are doing a great job, and I think there's 1,500 people working on it at any given time. So it's a lot of moving parts. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can end this season in Highmark with a bang, and move into the new one the right way.
Nice. A couple more, we'll get you out of here. So from Highmark to Hallmark, potentially with the Bills Hallmark movie coming out this season. I know the Chiefs did one. You gonna watch it? Like, are you excited for it? What do you think that Buffalo Bills are getting the Hallmark treatment?
Yeah, I think I'll watch it. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of teammates in the movie,
Oh,
so
nice.
I know there were some guys that were nervous about it and had some lines, but I'm sure it's gonna turn out pretty good. So, well, we'll throw it on. We'll watch it.
And then obviously you're a big movie guy. You love talking in movie quotes and things like that. I know from listening to your other interviews. Is there a favorite movie of yours to quote? And have you ever tried to go a day or like a set of conversations or hours strictly quoting movies?
If I had to quote, if there's one that I quote the most, it's probably The Other Guys.
Oh, good.
Um, that's a very quotable movie. Obviously, Step Brothers is up there. Holes, for some reason, I quote Holes
Ooh.
all the time, and it just happens. But yeah, I mean, if I have one superpower, it's remembering movies and movie quotes. So yeah, the more I watch, the more I retain. It's like my own language, and I'm constantly thinking through them. And um, yeah, it's a cool little skill that I have.
Yeah. No, the other guys is a great one. You could always throw up. Did that go the way you think it was going to go?
Yeah,
Didn't think so. You could always throw that one out
I'm
there.
a peacock captain. You gotta let me fly on this one.